Thank you. How
Incredible.
are you? How was your day?
Love it. I'm doing good. You know that here in Florida, it's not that common to have cold weather, but today we woke up like
Really?
in 8 degrees, 8 Celsius degrees. Yeah. How about there? I can imagine that also
We
winter in
had
Germany is
some
super
really,
cold.
really, really cold times the last weeks, but now it's also 8 degrees,
Okay.
so it's pretty warm. And yeah, unfortunately, no white Christmas, but it's okay.
Oh, so it
No,
haven't
it
snowed
has,
yet
but
there?
some weeks ago, but it stopped directly before Christmas.
Okay. Oh, well, at
Yeah.
least you enjoyed it for a couple of days. And how are you preparing
Oh,
for
I
tonight?
prepared with. Do you mean for a live stream?
Well, for the live and also
Yeah,
for
so I
Christmas with
celebrate
your
tomorrow
family.
with my family. So today I was with my mom having breakfast, and we're doing also some baking before
Okay.
today. So I love to bake, and until now
Great.
I didn't make it because the schedule was so full. And so I'm really happy that we are baking together today because I love this to do in the Christmas time. And tomorrow we will cook
Great.
together and have, yeah, the time together with my family.
That's so nice. You know that for Voices Across the Universe episodes, I usually start telling 5 curious facts about the country of my Miss Universe sister. So in this case, your country. But for this special Christmas edition, I would like us to talk about our Christmas traditions to start the
Yes,
conversation. Do
I
you
was
agree?
searching for some facts I found out about Venezuela. Maybe you will tell me about. So there was
Okay.
some really interesting facts, some curious facts. I was, uh,
Well, if you also want to tell them,
yes,
I will be
if you
glad.
one thing I was reading is that on the Christmas Day, you're not going by a car or by
Okay.
walking to the church. There is a place where the people go by roller skaters. I read.
Oh my God. Well, I haven't done that. I haven't done that, but I need to make a research on that too. You know that it happened to me not here, but in Italy, that the first year that I
Yeah.
celebrated Christmas there, I saw like this Christmas parade with everyone wearing on Santa's costumes and going on roller
Italy.
coasters. That was super random. It was super curious, but it was incredible
Oh my
around the
God,
whole
that
center of
was the
Rome.
thing I was reading about Venezuela, actually. But it's great story.
Yeah. Well, maybe we haven't
Yeah.
maybe we
And
haven't and I haven't tried it. But what about the date that you celebrate? Like you just told me you're
yeah,
celebrating
so today,
tomorrow, right?
normally, yeah, you also meet with family. So I was meeting because we have this live today. It's already in the evening with my mom. And yeah, usually the people go to
Okay.
church or meeting with the family. And in the evening, the yeah, Santa Claus is coming and giving the presents to the children,
Okay.
and everyone is eating together. And normally on the 24th, everyone is eating potato salad and sausage. So a really simple dish, and that's
Mm,
super common on the day
delicious.
today. And tomorrow it's a big dinner with red cabbage and yeah, all the traditional German food.
So like the big
Yeah,
celebration is
tomorrow
tomorrow
and the
on the
day after.
25th.
So also 26, we celebrate these 2 days the most.
Also 26th. And
The
what do you do
same.
on the
So
26th?
also
The
eating. It's
same?
all about being together with the family, cooking,
Ooh.
eating. And yeah, I think that's the most beautiful thing because after the whole year, sometimes your parents live somewhere else or your family, everyone is coming together and you celebrate together and listening to music or playing music together, going to the church. So everything.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's great. Actually, for us, we usually, at least in my family, we
Ah,
celebrate on the 24th. So the tradition in my family is that we all get reunited on the 24th. We have dinner together. We have some typical dishes. It's like a typical
Yes.
dish, let's call it, that is called
Ah, what is that?
hallacas. Maybe you tried something similar in Colombia. It's like
Ah,
it's made of corn flour, and it's filled with meat and some other vegetables, and you get it like, how do you call it, like folded into plantain
this sounds
splits.
good.
It's so delicious. And that comes accompanied with like a chicken salad and what else do we eat? Ay, de pan de jamón, like
Mm,
ham bread. It's so delicious. It's not really light, it's not really healthy, but it's super delicious. So for this year, I made a promise that I was not going to eat it until the
yes,
15th of January, because I was once you eat an hallaca, you want
I
to
can
eat a
imagine. So
thousand more.
Christmas food, I think it's always not the healthiest and lightest one, but yeah, it's
E-
that time of the year.
Exactly.
But I love
But
Christmas
it's
food too, so I
delicious.
can eat it the whole year, and I think it's also great if you eat it
Oh
after
my
January.
God.
Yes.
Also us. Like we usually make hallacas for Christmas, but you can also eat hallacas in July. I
Yeah.
mean, it's delicious. And then on the 24th, we wait until 12 a.m. We wait until midnight, and there's
Mm,
when Santa comes
so
to bring
late.
all the
Oh,
presents.
in our country it's a bit earlier.
Yeah.
So after midnight. Ah,
After midnight, yeah. That
yeah.
usually kids are not awake until that time, but in Christmas it's tradition to stay awake so you can hear
Mm,
Santa come. So usually, like there's that the surprise moment when you hear Santa coming and arriving at home, and then suddenly all the
yeah,
gifts
I think
are under
this is so
the Christmas
exciting
tree,
for kids.
under the
Yeah,
mistletoe.
super great.
It,
And I
it
was
is.
reading about Venezuela that you have holidays starting at the beginning of December. So, like the whole December is celebrating Christmas, and there are some special things you can do in the evening or in the
Yeah.
morning, some rituals.
Yes, that's also true. And usually also at
Yeah.
schools, like the school calendar gives you vacation from middle of December until the
Ah,
first week of January. So it's a whole week of almost a
yes.
whole month of celebration for
No,
Christmas. What about you guys?
not that
You don't have
long.
vacation these
So I
days?
think school ended in the last week on Wednesday. So it's 2 days or 3 days before Christmas. But we are celebrating the time in
Mm,
December with a special Christmas calendar, especially for the children. It's like a calendar with 24 doors, and you can
okay.
open every day a door, and there's something sweet inside or like something to play with. Do you have that too in Venezuela?
Something to play with in which sense?
Like a little toy, or some people are making the
Okay.
calendar by their own, so they fill it with things they are thinking the kids will like. So 24
Mm,
little doors for the
yeah,
kids to open every day to celebrate the time until Christmas.
exactly. I have done it. I have done it. It's not that traditional in my family, but I have seen it, and I think I
Ah,
did it
yeah.
one year. I I I feel it's so interesting to understand how every culture celebrates Christmas differently. Like right now, I'm with Tammy, my trainer, and I'm discovering also the way they celebrate Christmas, for example. Because even, I
Yeah.
mean, I know you went to Colombia, and I have Colombian family, and even if we're so close, our traditions sometimes are different. But that's so exciting. Like, I would love to spend a Christmas in Germany. And I have
Really?
a German friend, which is
Ah,
called Donna. I met her in Barcelona, and she's so nice. She's really so nice. She's like
ah.
you, of course. And and I discovered a lot of things that German people, German women like you have different to us. But I find it so cool to mix it, like to get to know a little bit about other cultures and then take
Yeah,
them
I
and be
realized
part
too
of
that
yours
especially
too.
with Christmas, that is something so many people celebrate, but in a different way. So everyone is eating something different. Especially you told me about before about the sweet things you're eating, and I think this is also very common in Colombia. As you told me, your family is Colombian. But Baniela is
Yeah,
what it is. The name
exactly.
Baniela, Buñuelos,
Which one?
Banielos. This Buñuel.
Buñuelos.
Okay.
Buñuelos. Oh my God, you have a
Ah,
good pronunciation. Love it. What else did you learn in
what I
Colombia?
learned about Christmas or in general.
About yeah, about Christmas or about
Oh,
Latin
I
traditions?
realized that they love Christmas too. So everyone decorated in the beginning of December, and it was so beautiful to see in the shopping centers and everywhere. There was a Christmas tree, so I realized they also started really early to celebrate that. And yeah, I love in
Great.
Colombia that everything is super familiar. So all the people are so
Yeah,
warm-hearted and they welcome you and being so kind and so lovely. So to really appreciate the people that
that's
are around
great.
you, I learned in Colombia, and I was, yeah, I'm learning a lot
Great.
of things. But I would say this is one of the most beautiful things I get to.
Amazing. Oh my God,
Oh,
I have the chimney here, and I think it's it's ending the fire.
yes,
But if you want, we can get started with our
yes,
Christmas
I
cooking
almost
recipe.
forgot about
Okay?
it.
Let me take place. Well, the conversation is pretty
So,
interesting. I'm going to be here in the kitchen too. Let me find a place to locate it. So tell
yes.
us about this recipe. Do you usually make them? Is it super common in Germany to
So
make them
we
during
have a lot of
Christmas?
Christmas cookie recipes, and we love to cook, and we love to cook different ones, and everyone is getting together before Christmas and is baking, and then we also like to gift the cookies
Okay,
to people around you. This recipe we will do today is like a healthy version. So normally, of course, the cookies will be a
great.
bit with more sugar and normal fluid, for example. So they're a lot. So this is
Okay,
not a super common one. It's more healthy version, but I think it will be
okay,
great because we have this special look with the how does it? What is the name? It's like a pine cone. Pine cone, yes. So this is a pine cone, yeah,
the pine
with
cone.
a little almond thing. So, but the ingredients
Great.
are really common. So with cinnamon and almonds, it's something we put into many recipes from cookies. Yeah,
Exactly. No, I love the idea of making them a little bit more healthy and anyways, like having a good treat, a sweet
yeah, and
treat
we can
for
show maybe with
Christmas.
that it's possible to make something sweet you can enjoy with healthy ingredients. So I will read the ingredients. Yeah,
Also because
yeah,
cooking during Christmas is tradition for some families. So it's like the opportunity to have a great time, spend time with your family, cooking, enjoying that time together. So
yes.
let's do it as Miss
I
Cookie
love.
Sisters.
So we
Great.
will use, I remember it for the people, 2 bananas, baking powder, 1.5 teaspoon. I don't know if how you measure the things, but
Okay.
we are saying teaspoon.
Okay.
Then 150 grams of quark or vegan quark. In my case, I will make the cookies vegan. Oat flour, 200 grams, cinnamon, flaked almonds, and dark chocolate at the end. Yes.
Great, great. I'm going to hold the recipe right here with me so I can also make my version of the I'm going
Yes.
to be following your steps. I need to confess that I'm not the best cook. I'm not I
I
don't
think
have that talent.
I think
I don't
baking
really
is a
have
bit
that.
more easier than cooking because you most of the time have a specific recipe and then you just need to put all the ingredients together and if it's a good it will be
That's
have a
true.
great outcome. But I have to say, I never tried these cookies before, so I'm also really curious about how it will taste.
So it's going to be
Yes.
it's going to be something new for both of us.
So
Okay,
okay,
that's
first of
great. I
all,
love
I
that.
will peel the bananas and put them um, in like a, how is it called?
I'm going to be
In
okay.
how they
So take photos.
how they
And to be having
celebrating
the
in Miami. I think also really Latin American like because they are living so many Latin American people, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, for example, Tammy
Mm-hmm.
is also from Colombia. So they don't eat hallacas. They don't
Yeah.
have like that traditional dish for Christmas. And I was talking to her and to her husband, and they told me that usually they go out for Christmas, like they go to another family house, another
Yeah.
parent house, not parent, like yeah, a
Ah.
family member house, and then for the 31st
Ah.
they celebrate it at home. So today we're going to another house of one of the members of their family
Ah.
to celebrate it there. And I stay here with her because we were training also in the morning.
Ah. Oh,
She's
red.
over
Everyone
there.
is in red.
And
Yeah.
only red. Women in red for today. Yeah. But let's say that as traditions, it's similar because they get
Ah.
reunited also on the 24th. Yeah. So I feel at home.
Yes.
I feel I'm with my family.
That's beautiful. Okay.
I'm also going to be blending
Yes, I
the
will.
ingredients here.
I don't know if we have a processor. I will make the banana small with like a like
Okay, great.
like a mousse or something like that.
Exactly. Like
Yes,
how do
a
like a
paste,
paste,
right?
homogeneous
Bananas.
paste. Great. Going to look for the
One thing. Yes.
super. You
No,
know
you
that
can say it first.
no. Sometimes I love to try new recipes, but making them my own with
Me too.
healthy ingredients.
Yeah.
So this is the perfect example of it.
I'm
I love that.
always doing that with
Great.
recipes to make something vegan. So there's always an option. You can take a normal recipe and then you just change the little things in it to make it vegan. So I'm always
Exactly. Exactly. So you're vegan since a long time ago?
I'm vegan since around 2 years, but I'm not eating meat since around 12 years. So I realized at a really young age that I don't
Wow.
want to eat meat because of the animals. And when I was really young, I tried a lot, but sometimes I was,
Oh.
yeah, because I liked a certain dish, I was eating it again. But when I was, yeah, around 12 years old, from one to another day, I stopped. And over the time, I realized that
Wow.
also animals need to suffer for like products like milk and cheese and everything. So I
Exactly.
stopped.
And how old are you now?
Sorry, I'm
How old
24.
are you now? You're 24. So
Yes,
since you were 12, you
right,
stopped to
exactly.
eat meat. Oh my God, but you were so young. So you were so conscious about, like your determination on animals and the food
Yeah,
you
there
wanted
was
to eat or
one
not.
story my mom told me the last time. I like 3 or 4 years old, and I was sitting on the table, and she prepared some chicken for us. So a whole chicken, like for example, you eat on Christmas Eve here in Germany, and she said that I was staring at it
Okay.
for a while, and then I said, "Oh, the poor chicken." And I was feeling so bad to see that on my table, and I think that's the thing nowadays. Often, because we eat a lot of processed food, we don't see where the food is coming from that we eat. So if you see a
Where
chicken
it's
nugget,
coming
you
from.
would not think about it's from an animal. So I realized that a lot of children don't know where the food is from and what is really meet. So that was, I realized it was
That's
so
so
interesting
true.
for me. And I think because I saw it when I was really young and I was seeing the transporters with the animals going to the shelter, and so yeah, I couldn't
Wow.
live with that. So I decided, and for me, it was never a
You couldn't
problem.
eat it.
It's nowadays super easy because the industry changed a lot in the last years, and I'm super happy about that because every time when I go in the supermarket, there's something new, and at the restaurants you get so many options. In Miami, I was eating the best
Exactly.
vegan dishes. So they have really good options there. Like,
Wow.
yeah,
There's
very
a big
super tasty.
variety. Exactly. And was it difficult at the
Um,
beginning?
yeah, in the beginning, of course, it was a bit more difficult because it was not super common. But I was always eating the sides and
Okay.
vegetables, and my family was really supporting me, so they cooked every time something I could eat too. So it was not.
And are you the only one from your family who's
No,
vegan,
I'm
or
the only
also they
one.
are vegan?
Yes.
Wow. That's admirable, you know, because it's not easy to handle it in the meantime that you see your family eating your
Yes.
meat and other kind of foods that don't you're not able to eat. That's incredible. That's
Yes,
super
I
admirable,
realized,
Soraya.
for example,
Because
in many countries, it's super, super traditional to eat food with meat. So in every traditional food is something with an animal product. But yeah, as I said, I'm really blessed with my family that was supporting me all the time with that. And yeah, so for me it was not easy, but I can understand that sometimes it's super easy, especially when your grandma is cooking something super delicious for you. It's saying here, please eat,
exactly.
and she did it with so much love, and I can understand that this could be difficult. But yeah, but I think there's a big change, and
Hmm.
it will become maybe more and more, yeah, understanding. Yes.
That's
So
so true. Okay, you can tell us
yes,
how the recipe is going? Yes,
now I
perfect.
think we could add the quark. So I will just put 150 grams of quark in the banana.
Great.
So now one thing I was wanted to ask you. It has nothing to do with Christmas, but I was reading when I was searching for some facts about Venezuela that you go to school in shifts. So that is in the morning shift and in the afternoon shift. Is that true?
That's, I mean, depending on the school, it can vary, but there are different shifts exactly. And sometimes some schools have both of them. For example, mine,
Okay.
it only had the morning one. But I studied once in a school that had both of them. So I went like the whole day at school. But also in Colombia, I remember that
Yeah.
when I studied in Colombia, I went like from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. until school. My little siblings right now, they stay until 5 p.m. because they have also like uh, extracurricular
Yes.
activities.
No, we also
How about
started
there?
in the
How
morning,
the school works?
and yeah, then it's different from day to day. But we also have some social activities,
Okay.
especially when you're younger, you can do after the school to do some sports or
Okay.
yeah, something crazy.
That's great. And well, while we cook, I would like us to start like getting into the pageantry history of both of us. So how did you start in all of this world? Like, is this your first time competing on a pageant, or was it something you knew since you were a little
No,
girl
it
that
was
you wanted to
definitely
do?
nothing I wanted to do as a child. I actually didn't know that this kind of thing, as this kind of pageant is existing. So I get to know about when I was 17 years old. I was in a dance group, and
Okay.
one of my teachers knows a person that was competing at a pageant, and she said that they're
Okay.
searching for someone that is competing as Miss Leipzig. This is this really, really small little pageant from my city. And I was,
Okay.
yeah, I was hearing that and I was like, okay, what is that? I want to find out more about that. And I was doing my research and I was so interested to join because I thought this will be a great experience and it's a great opportunity to meet new people. So I decided to apply. And then I was at the pageant and I won. I was Miss Leipzig, and then I could go to the next step, Miss Saxony. This is so my state I live in. And with that win, I could go to Miss Germany. So in our country, we have Miss Germany and Miss Universe Germany. So there are two different competitions, but Miss Germany is not sending someone to Miss Universe. So it's just a national pageant. And I was Miss Germany 2017, and I was working with an organization for 1 year, and I learned so much, and I loved this experience, and I was getting to know so many beautiful people, and in that year, I had this dream to also represent my country at the international stage, and for me, Miss Universe is the most beautiful pageant that is international. I always had in my mind that I want to compete there and that I want to meet all the beautiful women from all over the world. So yeah, I had this, this was my first experience, and then I thought about it for 5 years, and this year I decided to apply to Miss Universe Germany.
Okay. So now, like wishing and dreaming with participating at Miss Universe, like not only representing Germany and enjoying being a beauty queen in your country, but now going to Miss Universe and having that platform, because I always rescue that it's incredible the opportunity that they give to us, because it's a bigger platform to share those messages that we have to
I think it's
share
one of
to the world.
The biggest platforms ever, especially for women empowerment and so many important topics, education. And this year I realized so much change with the allowance, that they decided to also take women's period and
the new rule
take a part. So I think this is such a great platform, and for me it's such an honor to be part of it, and it was after Miss Germany.
Great.
But how was it with you? I know that Venezuela is a big pageant country and you love.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, normally beauty queens in my country are formed since they are little girls. In my case, I started modeling, but my first beauty pageant was the Miss Venezuela, the national competition last year. So I arrived like from zero. I arrived like as to a new world, into a new universe, like literally. But it's so exciting because I also got the chance to start like creating my own way of approaching beauty pageants. And that has been amazing, because I understood how Venezuelan queens are prepared, but I also made it mine. I took it like personally, and I started designing like along with my team, of course, and my organization, like maybe I can do this, maybe we can try this, but not getting attached to the usual way of how queens should be prepared, but trying to find what could make me feel more comfortable during this whole path. Because I do believe it's all about that at the end, like in the end, you need to feel comfortable with what you're doing. That will be reflected on the results and on your way of being and getting into the runway talking to people, communicating those messages. If you feel comfortable, then
Absolutely.
you will show
That's
that.
so true. And I think it's always the right time to make a decision like that. So you don't need to have knowledge about it. You can just get in and you will get the knowledge. You will get the person. You will develop yourself at that time so much. So it's great to hear. So what was it your dream when you was younger to compete one day?
Yeah, I always had it in my mind, like I always thought about the Miss Venezuela. At some point of my life, it would arrive. I didn't know when nor how, but as soon as I graduated from the university, I started thinking about it, like, maybe now, maybe in a couple months. And then I moved to Chile
Mm-hmm.
only to visit my mom, but I got trapped there for the pandemic period. And I was like looking for new opportunities, and I was like, what can I
Nothing.
lose? Like I could
Yeah.
win a lot rather. Yeah. And that was the beginning of this whole beautiful story. And I'm super glad that I took that decision. It has been probably one of the
So
best decisions of my
sometimes
life.
you can feel when it's the right time. So as in your story, you had the feeling of your time,
Your
it's your
heart
time,
says
and
it.
yeah, you take it.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, tell us how the
I
cooking's going, and in the
yes,
meantime, of course,
so
we can
difficult
chat.
to cook and bake. In the documentary, yes,
It's so
we
difficult.
saw it easier actually. No, in the documentary, I saw that we are not able to really multitask. So we can only do one thing, and then our brain is need to change. So I put the banana and the pork
Yeah.
together and the baking powder, and now I will add the flour and the flour.
The flour.
Thank you.
Okay.
I will so
No, no,
150 grams
no
of
worries.
flour, and I think just add then a little bit of cinnamon, and that's it. So then we can make the little
Okay.
the form.
The
Yes.
forms. Great.
So
Great, great, great. But you
yes.
usually like to bake?
I love to bake and cook. This is something like meditation for me. After coming from work or doing a lot of things, I like to be in the kitchen, to come down, to cut all the vegetables, and to really enjoy the process of making my food. And of course, I also like
Yeah.
to eat.
Well, then it was a good idea, because if it's that relaxing for you, then it's good, like to
Yes,
cook,
but
and in the
normally
meantime we
I
chat.
think my brain is going off when I cook because it's just something I do with
Yeah.
passion. But I just thought about
Yeah, no, I'm also
actually
realizing that it's not easy.
yes,
I'm like, like trying to mix the things here and talk at the same time, and ask
I
you
realized
about
that it's
everything.
difficult to do something and to talk and to answer questions when I was in the Miss Universe office doing my makeup tutorial. So it was the first time I did my makeup with
That's
talking, and I was
so
like, oh my
true.
god. Yeah, it's. What did
Yeah,
you
yeah,
do?
yeah.
When did you visit
Because
Miss
I
Universe?
did. Okay, I also did a makeup tutorial, and I
Yeah,
used
I
like the
remember.
sparkles
I
in the
love that
eye.
look. It was so pretty.
Thank you so much. But it was super difficult, because then I had to be so precise and put
Yeah.
those little diamonds, and it was the first time doing it. Just like today, like cooking, but it was the first time doing it, and I had to record, and I had to, like guide the makeup and tell all the steps, and it was not easy, but the team
There's
was so
yes.
kind and so
I
helpful.
love the one there. People are super,
What
super,
else did
super
you do
kind and
at the
supporting.
offices?
So it wasn't bad, but I was realizing that
Absolutely.
these two things together when you're not used to it. But it's funny that I
Yeah.
experience the same.
That's so true. And what else did you do at the
We
Miss
just
Universe offices?
no, we also did like a question and answer video, and yeah, doing some Polaroids. I think you did the same, right? With the Polaroids, the little camera. I love that. We need to buy some for Miss Universe for the time. Yes,
The
I
Polaroid?
think it would be great to have a Polaroid camera.
Wow,
We
that would
can.
be great. That would be. I used to have one, but I left it in Chile. So I'm gonna see if I find one here.
Yeah,
But that would be
I love
great.
I love
That
those
would be great.
Polaroid pictures.
Hmm.
So, and for time in New York
Oh my
ever.
God,
Do you
they're
was in
so
New
cute.
York before?
I had been there once when I was studying English in Canada because I was in Toronto and I took a bus
No.
until New York. It was like 10 hours, I cannot remember, but it was so exciting because I went with my other
Yes.
partner studies in from Toronto and we went all together to visit New York. But it was like a day and a half with a tourist guide and that was crazy. I mean, we didn't have a second to
Yes.
stop and breathe. It was like, here, this is
It's so much to see.
okay, let's go back. So this time I really enjoyed New York. I was like, I didn't feel like a tourist. I felt like I could get the vibe of the New York people who live there, who really live there, like going to the offices and grabbing a coffee and I don't know, having breakfast in the corner shop. It was
Yeah.
much more
So it was
calm.
good that you had super stressful but
I love that.
informating visit before. So now you was able to really enjoy it.
I was able to live it in a different way. I even went out one night. I went there with my director, but she was also tired. I was also tired, so we decided to stay in the hotel. But at night, I told her like, I need to grab something to eat, like nearby, and I found an Indian restaurant
Yeah.
that it was super small, super super small in a corner. And I just went there. It was all alone. The people were so kind, and I was like, this is great about New York that you get to have many cultures reunited in one city, and you can find a little Indian restaurant in a corner in the middle of New York where people are super kind, and then like you're in a super big city, but in a little peaceful space. I don't know. I
Yeah.
love that moment. I love those little moments, that
I
those
was
memories
realizing
that
the
remain.
same. New York is super multicultural, so a lot of different people are living there, and it's super interesting to just sit and watching all the people that are walking by. I love the city too. It has a really special vibe. Yes. But as you said, you
Exactly.
started in Toronto. You studied at so many places, right?
Well, I studied English. Yeah, I did my university studies in Rome, but before going to Italy, I went 3 months to Vancouver and 3 months to Toronto to finish
That's
my
great.
English
It's
studies.
the best to study where the people are
Yeah.
speaking the language. Yes.
Yeah. The Canadian experience was incredible. It was so, so, so nice. Vancouver was my favorite
Really?
city of all times after Rome because
Yeah.
Rome is magical. Vancouver is so nice. Many people don't know it or don't seem interested to get to know about Vancouver, but it's a pretty
I need to
beautiful
go. I
city.
was never there before, but now I'm interested to see.
Yeah.
I'm interested. So I
How
have
is the recipe going? Okay,
the
great.
cookie dough
Oh,
ready, and I think I will put on the oven, and then I will do the little
great.
forms and put it in the oven. So and then I think it's almost ready. So 1 second.
Great, great. So I will ask you that after the live, you could post
Yes,
with us the photo
I
of
will.
the
I
cookies
will.
when they're ready.
I think I need to make it
Great.
ready after the real. If not, we're here for 4 hours. We're talking and cooking at the same time.
Exactly. Exactly. No, but it's been so fun. Also because you know when you're doing activities like this, you
Yeah.
feel way more relaxed. It's not this is not supposed to be an interview. This is supposed to be a natural conversation between the two of us talking about our history, our cultures, and celebrating
Together.
Christmas today, of course. And I'm really glad to do this live with you because it's going to be the last one before
Yeah,
New
the time is
Orleans.
flying. It's such a short time until
Yeah,
the whole New Orleans time. I'm super excited for that.
until the concentration. When are you
On the
arriving? When
4th.
are you arriving
So
to New
I will take
Orleans?
off and land on the
On
4th.
the
Yeah.
4th.
When do you go to New Orleans?
Oh my God.
On the
I'm
3rd. Okay.
arriving on the 3rd. Yeah. Yeah. On the 3rd, I think early. I think it's in the
Yeah.
afternoon, but early. Oh
Yeah.
my God. I'm so
Good.
excited. How are you feeling?
I'm
How are you feeling
super
these days
excited too. I just
previous?
can't wait because yeah, the whole preparation or the whole time I was having the goal in my mind to be there and to have the time together with all of you and to
Yeah.
have this beautiful place to take the Miss Universe pageant, the final night, um, like New Orleans.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy. Everyone that I'm telling, the final will be in New Orleans. Everyone's saying, "Wow, the city is amazing!" And do you was there before?
Yeah. I've also heard. No, I haven't been there before, but I have also heard, I've been told that New Orleans is a
It
great city.
is.
It's full of culture, of cultural, let's say, the carnival celebration, the Mardi Gras, the food, the gastronomy. I've been told is super delicious and super interesting. The French Quarter. I know we're going to
Yeah,
visit some museums, so I
and
believe
with
it's
the
going to
jazz
be a
music,
great
I think
experience.
we will have definitely a good
The
time.
jazz music. Definitely. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. And have you talked to apart from Mafe, of course, Miss Colombia, have you talked
I
to some of
was
the other
for
girls?
holidays in Indonesia and Bali, so I met Lakshmi there. And we had
Oh
one that time
my
together in Ubud,
God.
her yeah, her I think city she was born in, and I love Bali. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful island. Do
Wow.
you was there before?
Oh my. No,
Yeah,
I
it's
haven't
amazing.
been
So I
there.
met her, and I did I met someone else? I don't know. No, I don't think so. I was long time together with Mark. I hope I don't forget, but no. Did you met
Mafe.
someone already? You met
Oh. Well,
no,
I
you
what?
met everyone in the life, but in real life.
Well, I have met you girls in during the live, but physically
Mm,
only Curacao. And I'm probably going to see Carla from Uruguay
yeah,
these days. And she's also coming to Miami. Yeah. Oh no, I'm so excited. I also talked to Mafe to see if we
that's
got the chance to meet before New Orleans, but she's also arriving on the 3rd, I think. But I'm pretty excited. I also like that these lives, they make you feel
mm-hmm.
like you already know each other. So I could tell like I have already met 20 of my Miss Universe sisters or more
Yeah,
because we also have the chat and we have been talking through it. But I mean, it's just a few days left, like
right.
what? Like 10 days left to arrive to
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Yes.
It's so exciting. Great, Soraya. Well, I would love to see the result of the cookies after they are done, but I would love us to close the conversation with a beautiful Christmas message that you would like to share with all the people that have joined us today, your family, your people from Germany, and all the persons that have supported us
Yes, I
through
would
this
love to.
journey.
Thank you so much. So I wish everyone out there a beautiful Christmas. Enjoy the time with your family and take your time to be grateful, to review the year and to talk with your surroundings about was the great things that happened in that year. I love that ritual with my family. So we are sitting on the table and saying everything that we are grateful for that happened in the last year. So it's a great opportunity to remember the whole year with your family. And I hope you also think about the other people around you. Not everyone is able to have a Christmas like maybe us this time. So be kind to each other. Maybe donate something to organizations. I saw a lot about great gifting ideas this year to gift something with impact. So if you need a last minute present, just go on the internet and search for organizations. We have, for example, here in Germany, SOS Kinder, and you have the opportunity to gift like a jacket for a kid or like a beer. And there's another organization, International Plan, where you can also gift impact. So they have like a little part on the website where you can choose something and you can just print it and gift it to someone else. I think this is a great opportunity to do something good for artists. And yeah, so I hope everyone is spreading love and kindness these days and be grateful for what you have.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I believe that Christmas should always come accompanied with the grateful word. I mean, these are days to be grateful for everything that happened during this year, as you just said. And I also love that ritual. I'm going to do it today with my adopted family here in Miami, because we need to remember and be conscious of everything that life has gifted us during this year to be ready to begin the 2023 with all our energy filled. Thank you so much, Soraya. I will be waiting for the pictures of the cookies, and I hope you really spend a great Christmas with your family. I'm counting the days to meet you.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for the opportunity to talk to you today.
Thank you so much.
I will do cookies now, and then I will send you a picture. Have a good time. See you.
Great. Thank you so much. Have a nice Christmas.
Bye.